Hey, welcome back, everybody. Got another one here for you guys. I just noticed I've just reached just over 100 videos so far. Didn't seem like it has been, but I guess it has. But we got a couple more John Deere backhoes. I've done a few of them. These are both 310s. One's a G, and I think the other one's a P. We'll get her flipped around here and show you what we got on. I had to do a little bit more ingenuity on the front buckets because toward the front and back, and with Pennsylvania, you got to go to no straps, chains only. So let's get started on this. And as you can see here, got a pair of them. And it's just two, but then we get them both on the bottom deck here. But like I said, with Pennsylvania, you're not allowed to use straps on the booms, extensions, buckets. And you can see here where it looks like I've got these chains here going over the top. But what I've done, since you can't really run them over here because I've got this big gap, and I didn't want to run the chains through all that mess. As you can tell, there's holes up there on the back of the bucket there. And what I've done is I've ran the chain down through there, across to the other side, and I'll show you when we get over there, through the other side and back over the top of the bucket. That way it is holding the bucket down. It just goes from the back over the side and then back down again, as you can see. Of course, use the snap biters. I always try to at least wrap the chain around the handle, keep it from coming loose. And with the excess chain, if it looks like it might come off, always add that bungee cord. That way it kind of helps hold that chain from coming undone. And back on the front, where I always have a tendency, if I don't have short chains, to just use the one long chain. And as you can tell, where I ran it through the top up here, tied it down here, then the excess goes to the other side. You can see where I've just clamped onto the chain right there. That way you actually are using, it's like you're running two separate chains, but just using one to do it. Let's pull out. And like here's one of my examples here. Since this has got tires, they do bounce. I'll wrap that handle with a bungee cord. In other words, they do have a tendency of snapping open. It's happened to me numerous times. That's why I went to wrapping bungees around the handles, or some people use tie wire. I mean, if you got enough excess chain like I did up there, where you just wrap the chain around it, then. But when you don't, that's when I use my bungee cords. I'm not sure exactly the difference between the G and the P model. They kind of seems, I imagine this is some kind of interior designs or something. And like here, this is the same like with the front here. I use one chain, but I use it to do separately. See right here where we run it through? I just run it through there, bring it down, wrap it here. Boy, the wind's really picking up now. And then take the excess, throw it to the other side. And you can see we're here. There's not quite a lot of chain here, so I've just kind of all got it wrapped, at least wrapped once around there so it doesn't go nowhere. Now these buckets here, there's several different ways a person can do this. I've done it a number of different ways. When I use straps, I'll run a strap through here, over to the other side. And of course, that can be a little sharp sometimes, so I'll put a little padding there. And then other times, like I did with this one here, I ran it through here. You just run it straight through and down. And I have, on occasion, been able to run it over the top of the bucket whenever the bucket's level enough. When I run two of them, I try to get them lined up before the buckets are lined up. We couldn't do that this time, so this is basically how I'm doing it on this one here. And this is just what it looks like on the other side. Like I said, this one here, I've got my pull chains that pull out here that I've hooked to. These are little short chains, so there's not much chain there. They just have a tendency of coming undone sometimes. As long as you keep them wrapped. Boy, you see where it comes through the bucket on the side. I did them both the same way this time. A lot of times I'll just put the strap through that elbow joint. Like I say, this model here, it's still a 310. Do the same thing. Or, you can just run the one chain and then just throw the excess over. There she goes in, wraps around. See where I've got the excess chain just kind of wrapped around it. And then going nowhere, you don't really have to bungee that one because that chain's not going to come off. Yeah, this one here is the 310P. That was the G model. Like I said, this is the same as the one on the front here. I just run it to the front, down through here. Now, this is where I had to use my pocket here. Like I've always said, I'll always go down, under, back up through, and hook to the other side. Because they tell you to wrap the pocket. If you use a wrap pocket on this with this whole side here, it'd just collapse and fold. This way here, you've got 2 points of deal towards putting a twist. I've never lost a pocket that way. And of course, here's bungee cord wrapping the handle. Like I said, it is on tires. And like this one here, I do the same thing over here on this bucket. You can see where I ran it through the back side over the top and the other side. Of course, I've got my rubber padding to keep it from scratching the bucket up too bad. And right here, I had to use the pocket again. And you can see, I run down, underneath, back up, and hook to the top. Excuse me. The same thing over here. See where I just kind of wrapped it back up and around into the pocket. And you can see this is where it just comes through the other side, back through the holes, up over the top, and down. I mean, just whatever a person wants to use, but so right here where my finger was, I've got nothing to go on to. So having to try to get a chain to go up over there through this mess up and over, it's just as easy to do it this way. I mean, everybody's got their own preference. This is just another way in case you guys get to haul one. The way you can do it. Like I said, this is the same as the other side. The rest of the chain over here. And a wrap snap binder. Now I had to do the pocket. It's basically the same all the way down on this side. And here it is on this side. Same thing. So like I said, backhoes are fairly simple. Not a lot to them. So this is what you get in a handbag on these. Like I said, fairly simple, fairly easy. You know, just make sure you get them done right, secured down, and good to go. Like I said before, if you find it helpful, like, comment, share it to other people who do haul these things. Even subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I've now hit over 100 videos, so might find something there of any interest. Take a look. Browse around. I've been starting to use some of these, I've put a few things up on TikTok here and there, so you might find some things over there on Facebook. So appreciate you all watching. We'll catch you on the next one.